Let's go. What's up, everyone? Another episode. Back with my guy Q. How we doing tonight, Q?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing today?
Good, man. Good. Rough weekend for the Blue Bloods. Other than I guess North Carolina looked good, but tonight we're going to talk a bunch of college basketball shit. And our first topic, we're going to talk about how the Blue Bloods have been kind of ass this year. It's the first time since 1961 that North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky, and Kansas have all not been ranked the same week.
Wow.
Yeah, which is crazy, man, to think about. Like those are four great teams always, but I mean, you would think one of them would be good, and all four being bad is kind of crazy. So let's start with Duke. Like, what do you think Duke's problem is? Like, what are they
Now,
struggling with? All that.
I I think it's crazy how Duke, Kentucky, Carolina, they've all been kind of relying on their one and dones, and each and every season they have a new wave of people coming in, and so I think Coach K has kind of strayed away from building a team identity. And these one and dones aren't the same as they used to. We're not getting any more John Walls, DeMarcus Cousins,
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Davis. We're just not built like that anymore. So I think Coach K has kind of strained away from building what he used to have with his team identities and having juniors and seniors that build up in the program and stuff like that.
Yeah, I also think like to that point of the one and dones, like I think we're seeing a lot of guys go different places. Where like when one and dones first started, like Kentucky was getting three of the best five players, Duke was getting three of the top three players.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cade Cunningham is at Oklahoma State.
Yep.
Jalen Suggs is at Gonzaga.
Yep.
Mobley is at USC. So like we're
Greg
seeing,
Brown.
yeah, we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing these guys go all these different places where, and it kind of started when Ben Simmons went to college and everyone's like, oh, where's he going to go? And he's like,
With
yeah, I'm going to
LSU.
LSU. So like, I agree. The one and done thing is definitely taking a hit, but I also think that Cal and Coach K, like these guys don't like these guys want to go have fun in college. And like a lot of them, I think just want to go chill, stay close to home kind of thing. And like,
Mm-hmm.
so like these guys aren't going to go to Kentucky and Duke because like it's been proven you're getting the same results. Like you can go be the only player on a decent team, but what's it really matter to you? You're still going to be the number one pick.
You're still
And
gonna get drafted. Yep.
exactly. And then you have on top of that, like people forget like when Kentucky won it all with AD, they still had Terrence Jones. They still had Patrick Patterson, correct, was on that team.
Yep. Darius
Like
Miller.
Darius Mill. So like they had 3 to 4 guys that were juniors and seniors on that team. Now
Yep.
you're not seeing that. Well, you have transfers, but guys that haven't played, like they weren't 5 stars coming in.
No, they haven't been in the program.
Exactly. Same thing with Duke. When they won it all with Okafor, Tyus Jones, and all them, they had Quinn Cook,
Mm-hmm.
um, that lefty African
Oh,
American.
Rodney Hood.
No. Emil Jefferson.
Emil
Um,
Jefferson.
they,
Yeah.
they they had the same kind of build of Kentucky where they have a bunch of very mature guys, upperclassmen, and super duper freshmen. Kentucky had the same thing, AD, all them, and super mature guys. And then other than that, it's like Villanova's won twice. They're not really the one and done route by any means. They've had like
Mm-hmm.
maybe one or two. And then you have like last year, Kansas had and Gonzaga had as good a chance as anyone. But even Kansas, like they don't necessarily go like last year. It was not a one and done team. So
Nah, was not.
like I just think this one and done thing is kind of just drying out, and it's like not the route to go anymore. Like I think you have to start looking at guys. And now for North Carolina, they have maybe a few guys that will go pro,
Mm-hmm.
but this seems like a team that in 3 years, if they do stay, is built like a Roy Williams national championship
They're
team.
gonna be unstoppable.
Yes, like they're the one team I would say from the four Blue Bloods we talk about that seem like they have a direction to go in. And Kansas and North Carolina right now are going to make the tournament. Duke
Mm-hmm.
and Kentucky are on the outside looking in. So like that, but Kansas has a lot of seniors, so it's like, what do you really? And they have the NCAA is still haven't given them their penalty for the recruiting violations. Like,
True.
so that's like hanging over them. And on top of that, it's like, first off, guys, like everyone in college basketball cheats. Let's stop acting like this isn't a thing. And the fact that the NCAA is holding this over them for like over a year is just complete bullshit.
You know
But
what else is crazy, dude? Is that the NBA also implemented that G League route. So a lot of the top players now are going to take that route. And since they don't really want to go to college and there's just so much uncertainty with COVID and stuff, they can take that G League route. They can make money. They can also get their degree on the side, and then they're in the league.
That's a very good point because 4 out of the top 15 players in this freshman class went to the G League.
Yep.
That could be like taking Anthony Davis. Like, think of the 4 guys that you could have taken from that team. Like, and they're in the G League now. And like you said, I mean, they're making $350K. They probably get endorsements and stuff like that. So, like, yeah, you can make your money. It's way more enticing. What I think will happen is I think it'll be interesting what Cal does because he's always kind of been this one and done guy. Coach K has obviously coached for so long. He's done both.
Right.
When they let guys go pro straight, or if this G League thing works out well, I do think we'll see more guys go to the G League. And I do think the G League will start to turn into a development league, but then like half the players are going to be 18 and 19-year-olds who like want to go. So does Coach K just say, screw it, we'll get 1 or 2, but I'm going to start going back to my old ways? Like, I did win 4 championships that way. So, like, but then, I mean, it's just crazy because, like, they do still have very good players. And I do think watching basketball with no fans and COVID, like I do think, like, Cal and Coach K are, like, kind of getting exposed in terms of in-game coaching a little bit. Like, a little.
Is Coach Cal a fraud?
Like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. But, like, and then on top of that, like, Jalen Johnson from Duke, I watched him play against Miami. He had no interest in playing. Absolutely none. And, like, you got to wonder if these freshmen who, I mean, they're gods in their high school. They literally, I mean, these guys are top 15 recruits, top 15 recruits. So they're walking around like their shit doesn't stink. They go to these games and there's 20 people there. Are they just like, man, I don't know.
That's just to your point, is that these blue blood schools, UNC, Kentucky, Duke, they typically have the best fan bases in all of college basketball. I mean, those teams usually thrive off fans coming to the games, pumping them up. I mean, now they're going to games and they're like neutral site games.
Right.
Like, so I think COVID has obviously has made an impact on the season for these blue bloods. I think not having preseason and summer workouts and exhibition games have obviously made an impact too with the team camaraderie. You're getting 9 to 10 new guys. So
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I think to that point of like not having fans, I think a lot of what it's doing too is like, so we see a lot of times these teams might have a decent regular season and then they get bounced in the first round of the tournament because they're really not that good. I think that's just kind of like saving us from seeing that. Like, I think this Duke team with fans might win majority of their home games, just like you said, because the fans going crazy of that aspect. They get up for the game. And then they go and they're like a 4 or 5 seed in the tournament and they get bounced like that to a shitty team and everyone's like, oh, Duke sucks. It's like I think you're seeing kids who really, really care about the sport of basketball. And like they get Duke and Kentucky get out hustled. Like all these teams get out hustled out. But I will say this about Cal. He has not complained about COVID. Like Coach K, they lose and they complain, and like the Alabama coach said it. He's like, "Do you think if they were 10-0, he'd be saying this?" No, he would.
He cut their preseason games, didn't he?
Yeah, it was just one game, but like, yeah, he's like, "We're not playing that," and it's just like, dude, like we all know if you were winning, you would not be saying this.
You'd still be wanting to play.
Yes, like if you were blowing teams out by 30, you'd be like, "All right, who's next? Sign me up," you know. So it's like, it's one of those things where it'll be interesting. Going forward, it'll be interesting. Like the tournament will be interesting because, like, I'm sure I bet they just allow families, so like it'll be the same thing. But then you got to think it helps these teams like a Baylor, like a Gonzaga, who are very senior dominated. Like the thing about both those two teams is they had a chance to win it all last year, and they're very old.
They got everybody back. They got all that experience,
and they're hungry. So like these tournament games with no fans, that means nothing to them. They don't care. They want to go out there and win a championship. So it'll be interesting how that goes. Do you think, like, how many more wins do you think Kentucky or Duke would have if they had fans? Like,
Personally,
do you think they would still be shitty, or do you think they'd be average?
I think they would be average
Yeah.
because teams that come into Cameron Indoor and to Rupp Arena are going to be intimidated
Right.
just because of the fans, the student sections, things like that.
Right.
Now teams come in and they're like, this is their Super Bowl. They have no disadvantage really, and they're hungry, like you said. So like if I'm at a small time school or a mid-major school, I'm a junior or a senior guard, I'm coming into Kentucky, I want to beat their ass. You know what I mean? Like I don't care if you're a freshman.
Okay.
And now they're getting out hustled, they're getting outclassed, like you said. There's no fans. Like they get momentum, and then what? You know what I mean? There's no there's no fan base to help get their energy back and stuff like that. So I think if there were fans in the picture, they would be average, but these teams aren't the same as years past.
I was gonna say, like, I do believe they would have both definitely have a few more wins. Like Saturday, I bet Kentucky beats Tennessee. If they played how they did with fans, like I bet they win that game. Duke coming down the stretch might beat North Carolina if they have fans that game. But like I agree, like I don't think these teams are that good though. Like I just on paper, like I don't think they're that good anyways.
Nope.
Like it's interesting. It's interesting to think about. It'll be interesting going forward. Like it was funny because Dickie V, you know, he is pretty crazy, but he was saying he was like, how are these guys top 15 picks? They can't even score in college, which I get. Like I kind of agree with, and it's like, you know, these NBA scouts like tell all these people, and how many times do you see a kid leave early and then they like get forgotten after 2 or 3 years?
Yep.
So, you know, who knows? But like I was saying though, it's like you got these guys like a Mobley from USC, Jalen Suggs from Gonzaga. Like, do we see these guys start going, like one guy go to like these really good schools now, like a Jalen Suggs type thing? Do they go to a Baylor for a year, you know?
Yep.
So it'll be
It's worked out for them.
Yeah, I mean, for sure it's worked out for them. It's been a very good – I've enjoyed it, but it's also like shitty college basketball is shitty college basketball. With no fans, it's like sometimes it's tough to watch.
Yeah, it gets boring, dude. And I mean, the NCAA, everybody wants to see the Blue Bloods in the tournament. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, for sure. Because
nobody wants to see a bunch of bozos in the tournament. But
yeah, like I want to watch Duke lose in the tournament. You know,
exactly.
Like, if Boise State's playing Colorado State, like I mean, yeah, I'll watch it because it's the tournament. But like, do I really care? Like, so, all right, let's move on. We'll talk about. Who do you think? Let's go with your top 4 right now, and then from there go with teams basically that you would have in your 5 to 15 range that you think could make a Final Four run.
Okay, so my top 4, I gotta go with obviously the 2 undefeated teams, Gonzaga and Baylor. We talked about them previously. They got a lot of depth at the guard position. Jalen Suggs for Gonzaga is a beast. I mean, you gotta have him up at the top. Zaga, Baylor. I also think Michigan is up there. I think they're a well-coached team. They play really good team basketball. They have a really good conference that they're in, that they're playing consistently well.
Yep.
I like Michigan. I also like Houston. Houston is one of my sleeper teams, but I think they're a team that's a top 5 team, just based solely on their guard play with Grimes, Sasser, and Giroux. They're veteran guards. They get it done. They're playing in a weaker conference, American Conference, but I think they're a top 4 team.
Okay.
What about you?
So I'm gonna go Gonzaga 1, Baylor 2, and then I agree. I think Michigan is 3, and then at number 4, I would honestly have to go. Ooh. I'd probably have to go Ohio State right now, to be honest. I think they're playing very good basketball. I think they're playing very well. I just I feel like Ohio State always never trends well going into the tournament, but it seems like they're playing good basketball right now, so we'll see how long that lasts. So I guess I would have to go them right now, but I don't know, I could see them trend downwards. I think Michigan's playing well, but as we've seen is when teams get hit with COVID, when they come back, they're not playing. They don't play the same basketball.
Yep.
So
that sucks, man.
So who knows how they'll get when they come back? But going in before COVID, like I would definitely have them as a top 5 team. I think they're very good. I do think Houston is very good. Like I do think that one game, I don't like. I know it's East Carolina and they're not
Oh
good,
yeah.
but I don't think that really is like the tell all. Like I don't think that really means much to them, to be honest. Like I think they're okay outside of that. And who's it? Oh, Villanova is another other team I was going to say. I think they're good,
Yeah.
but I think they have to be hitting their threes because they don't really have an inside presence, defense or offensively. So I think that's a
Yep.
team to kind of look out for. You know, a lot of people say Iowa. I don't think they have any chance to go into a Final Four, and they're also playing horrible basketball right now. A
Yeah.
team like Texas Tech, I think they're very well coached, and they play very good defense, which travels everywhere. So, you know, a kid like Mac McClung gets
Mac
hot.
McClung,
Yeah,
man.
like they could make some noise and beat some teams that maybe they're not supposed to beat. Or like I said, they play very good defense, and I think Chris Beard is a very good coach. I mean, the last like 6 years, Texas Tech is like second in tournament wins, total tournament wins.
Yeah, man.
So
He's been
like
getting it done.
yeah, so like they're
Dude,
very, very good.
that team with Jared Culver, man, they're a good team.
Exactly. But like I
Mhm.
honestly like I think if Gonzaga plays its best basketball game, nobody can beat them.
Nah, man.
But the only team that has any of a shot, but I don't think they're that good offensively, is Baylor. Like I
Yeah.
think Baylor, if they do get hot, Baylor has so many weapons and they play very good defense. But like either of those teams, I think if either of those teams get hot, like that's who we're going to see in the national championship because I don't think anyone can beat them.
Nope. I don't think so either, man. I have to agree.
Who do you think? So you named your four. So who do you think is coming outside of your four?
That's tough. Um, I'd probably have to throw in Iowa when they're playing well. They're playing through Luke Garza. They're tough to stop.
Yeah,
Um, I know Michigan State has been struggling. They've been struggling,
bro, they're bad.
but Tom Izzo can get it done. I think he can turn the ship around, but
Okay,
they have the pieces, man. I like Aaron Henry. I like Rocket Watts. I think they can turn it around, man. But
okay,
I also like, I really like Purdue. I've been watching
really?
Purdue a lot, man. I like Purdue. I think that they can get in and they can make some noise. They're relying a lot on their freshmen though, which is kind of like the mantra of college basketball recently. And I think when they're clicking well, they can get it done. But they play through their big Travion Williams. Jaden Ivey's been playing well for them. Brandon Newman.
Yeah,
I
Brandon
think
Newman's a bucket too.
I think Purdue can make some noise too. Don't sleep on them. Don't
Yeah,
sleep on them,
I
Mike.
do think they're good. A team that I think if they play well, but they turn the ball over so much, so I don't know if they actually will make a run. But I think Illinois. I think they have a lot of talent on that team with Io or Ao or whatever, however you pronounce his
Mhm.
name. I think with him at point guard,
Coburn.
he just had a triple double. Like I think they could play very well. I think they could play their way into maybe making a little run. But they
Mhm.
turn the ball over a shit ton, so I wouldn't be shocked if they had if they were a 3 or 4 seed second round knockout because they turned the ball over 25 times in a game. So, but I do think they can make a little run. I was trying to pull up the new rankings just to see like where is everyone.
Mhm.
But yeah, it'll be interesting. But yeah, I like Houston too, man. They are good. I was saying, I don't think that East Carolina game really is like they played one bad game because they play a bunch of shitty teams and they weren't up for it. But like
Yep.
I don't think that makes them. I do think Virginia is a sleeper team
Oh
because
yeah,
they play such good defense
dude.
and
Tony Bennett, man, he
yeah,
is a very good coach. He teaches really good.
if they score 60 points, other than maybe other than Gonzaga and Baylor, like they could play with anyone because
Yeah,
they play such good defense. They just have to get to that 60 mark. Um, Texas is one of those teams like, dude, they can play well, but they're kind of like Illinois. They just turn the ball over so much.
yep.
So Purdue's 24th. They're
You're
saying
creeping up, Mike. Don't sleep on them.
Loyola Chicago is better this year than they were when they went to the Final Four.
Wow.
They're ranked 22nd right now. So that would be interesting. USC, man, if they can hit their, I watched them play UCLA Saturday night. If they are hitting their threes with the Mobley brothers, they are very good.
Dude, they're a really good team, man.
Evan Mobley is a stud.
He's an animal.
Yeah, that dude is an absolute
7 foot.
stud. Yeah, and he's like very mobile.
Mobile, long, can guard multiple positions.
Yep. So, yeah, I think it'll be interesting because, like, I do think in college basketball, other than the two teams we named, and I guess we could throw Michigan in there because they are 13-1. So those three teams have only lost one time. Other than that, like, everyone's kind of lost a handful of times. So it's like the tournament could be super interesting where you're just seeing all these teams beat up because, like, you're gonna have some, like, Rutgers has 6 losses and they're ranked 25th. Colorado is the next in line and they have like 7 losses. Like all these
That's
teams
insane, man.
so like it's going to be very interesting to see that. Okay, then let's give our final 4 picks then. Who do you think is going to the final 4?
All right, man. I have to throw Gonzaga in. Baylor.
Yep.
My guys down south in Texas, Houston. Don't sleep on them, Houston. The 4th one, I really want to take Michigan.
Okay.
So I like Juwan Howard. I'm going to take Michigan. They're playing really well. They're coming off COVID, though, so we'll see how they do in the tournament. But that's my 4. What about you?
You said Houston, right?
Houston, okay. Michigan, Baylor, Gonzaga.
Yep. Okay. I'm going to go Baylor, Gonzaga. Like, I just think that's a lock. I don't know. I think they're so good right now. So I'm gonna go Gonzaga, Baylor, and then I'm gonna go. Gonzaga, Baylor, and then I'm gonna go Texas Tech. I really like them, man. I don't know. I like Chris Beard. I've ever since they went to the national title, I've been a huge Chris Beard fan. I think he's just a very good coach.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Gonzaga, Baylor, Texas Tech, and I'm gonna go Jay Wright, Nova. I think Jay Wright is obviously. This is since Jay Wright's brought up so the last decade. Who do you think the best coach has been?
Last decade. I mean, you can't go wrong with Jay Wright.
That's what, like, I heard this conversation on like a podcast or something, and they're like, I mean, just because of the 2 championships, it has to be him, right? Like,
and he's been sending people to the NBA too, bro. Like,
that's the difference between his like first, I guess, breaking his coaching career in half. His first half, it was like 1 or 2 guys out of every 3 years would go pro. Yep. Now it's like, I mean, it's a good handful though. Like every time you turn, it's like, oh, that kid went to Nova. Oh, that kid went to Nova. So that's kind of been like the difference. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know who else I would necessarily say. Like, I think Mark Few might be a close second, or Roy Williams.
Yeah, it's just they got to win titles. I think titles, and obviously you want to send guys to the pros, but I would throw Mark Few up there. I think the Texas Tech coach has done a lot with what he has. You know what I mean? Like he's not going out and getting top 5 recruits.
He's starting to get good recruits now, but like when he took over at Texas Tech, they were ass. Like they were really bad.
He turned that ship around, man. Yeah. So.
But Roy Williams in the last 10 years has 1 title, so
yeah.
So
you can't go. I mean, Coach K has done pretty well too. He's done well, but he's also been bounced in the tournament. Like
I guess if you count 2010, which is 2010 to 2020, Duke has 2 titles. So yeah, I mean, Coach K is probably second then for sure. And then you would probably put Jay Wright, and then I would say Roy Williams probably after Jay Wright.
Yeah.
And then maybe Tony Bennett.
Yeah. They're always atop the ACC.
Right.
I mean, so and he won that title too.
Exactly. I think that title really puts him. If he didn't win a title, I think everyone would just think of him as huge frauds. But I think that title really
solidified himself.
It's kind of crazy how like Roy Williams, has 4 national titles. Is it 4? Or is it 3? No, okay, just 3. He's got 3 titles though, I guess. But like no one really talks to him like as like Coach K's got 5, but other than that, it's kind of Roy Williams.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's interesting because Jay Wright has kind of done something that like we haven't seen in a while, where it's like everyone thinks his team chokes, and then like 2 out of 3 years his team win titles, and now it's like, I mean, you can count on almost one hand how many coaches in college basketball right now have a championship. So
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
like think about that. Like I'm looking through it. Obviously Tony Bennett, Jay Wright, Roy Williams, Coach K.
Coach Cal has one.
Coach Cal has one. Bill Self has one. Boeheim has one.
Mm-hmm.
Izzo has one. And if you, I mean, Patino, you technically have to count because he's
I guess.
so like it's under 10 people though. Like think of that. Like that's crazy.
That is crazy, man.
But all right, you got any last words? Any last things? Anything you saw this weekend?
Nah, man. I'm just curious to see how it all will unfold. I really wish that COVID didn't make the impact that it did for our seasons, but it'll be.
Sure.
I think that the NCAA has done their best in terms of just making the adjustments and making sure that we actually did have a season. So, as a fan and as somebody who loves basketball, I'm very pleased with that. But
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how it all pans out, man.
All right, we're actually gonna play a little game.
All right, let's do it.
I'm gonna ask you who currently leads the NBA in steals.
Wow. Oh man. Do I get a hint?
He's in the Eastern Conference. Eastern Conference.
Eastern Conference. I would have to say, dang, that's a good question. I'll just say Drew Holiday.
Nope, he's third. But
man, top 5.
OG Anunoby.
Whoa! Wow.
2.1 points per game. Who leads the league in blocks?
Who leads the league in blocks? I want to go with Rudy Gobert.
He is second.
Oh my gosh.
Miles Turner.
Miles Turner. Wow, yeah. I would have never guessed that.
Rebounds.
I'll have to go with, oh man, that's tough. Is it Andre Drummond?
Nope. Clint Capella.
Wow, you're killing me with this quiz, dude.
And last one, who is the worst team in the NBA right now?
The worst team in the league right now? Man. Is it the Miami Heat?
Nope.
Who is it?
It is an Eastern Conference team. I'll give you one more guess.
One more guess, dude. Oh, is it the Detroit Pistons?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah, there we go. I got one right.
Yeah, you got one right. All right. Next week, what we're gonna do is we're each gonna have 3 people. We'll pull them up, and you'll have to guess who's that player in the NBA. We'll do.
Like a picture?
Yeah, we'll do a little Charles Barkley thing that they always do to him.
All right, let's do it.
But yeah, let's do that next week. But yeah, I mean, you got one right. You had to go out on a dub, right?
Oh, man.
But I think so. Actually, I think we're gonna try to do another episode this week, all NBA. So, leave comments if you want us to talk about anything specific in the NBA. DM us, whatever. Subscribe. We're moving up on the subscribers. We appreciate all the love on the first episode. And for the future, if you want us to talk about anything specifically, just hit us up, and we'll answer the questions, and we'll talk about whatever different ideas you got. But until then, we'll see you later this week. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.